You know, sometimes life gives you moments that remind you just how far you've come. For me, that moment was my 30-year high school reunion and the events leading up to it. I walked into that room feeling a mix of excitement, nerves, and disbelief. Because not too long ago, I never thought that I'd have the confidence or the health to show up to something like that. Come along with me to Chuckadelphia as I reflect on this amazing high school reunion weekend. Let's go. So here I am at the Philadelphia International Airport waiting for my mama bird to finish up work. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about the high school reunion thing. I would say it started on Friday, the day before the reunion. And it was pretty interesting because my mom wanted to treat me to a nice outfit to wear to my reunion. And we went to Boscov's. Now, I got to tell you, for the longest time, I had not shopped at a store like Boscov's or Macy's or Bamberger's or whatever, because the clothes were always too small for me. And I had always had discontent with clothing for the longest time because, for one, clothes for big people are very expensive. And I used to have to shop at certain stores, and right away, you could barely afford anything, without really going into debt in those types of stores. And then, when I did find clothes, I was always concerned that they would rip, tear, or if I put on a button-up shirt, that maybe the buttons would break and my stomach would plop out, and maybe I would get a jacket and I couldn't zip it up all the way and I would feel uncomfortable. And then let's not even get to the point where I might bend over and certain parts of my lower backside might stick out. I was always concerned about that. So I went into it, I was okay. I was kind of hesitant to go, but I was interested in at least seeing what I could possibly get, right? So on one hand, it was really interesting to see that, normal size clothes are not that expensive there. It was pretty interesting. And I was looking around a little bit, and we had one of the customer service people there. She came up and she measured my neck and my arms and stuff like that. And she gave me a suggestion for a button-up shirt, and right away, I see the button-up shirt, and I wasn't really sure if it was going to fit, but I was okay, I'll play this game. Let me see what it would be, right? And then she suggested a certain size for the pants. And I was looking at a brand that starts with an H. I'd always been interested in them, but I could never find a pair of those pants in my size. So I was okay, I'll play this game. And she got me a size 40 and 40 waist and 29 legs, right? Length. I think that's how they say it. And I was all right. So I went back into the dressing room, and I got to tell you, when I looked at those clothes, I was thinking to myself, yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to fit into these clothes. And I started to put my legs. Well, first I buttoned up the shirt, and I was all right, that fits me pretty well. I mean, at the bottom of it, my gut was kind of hanging out. But eventually, the woman there said that, she asked me if I was going to get skin surgery, skin removal surgery. And I was I'm not really sure. But she was well, if you keep losing weight the way you are, then this is going to go down, and that shirt's going to naturally tuck in. So I was all right. Right, so then I put the pants on. I started to put the pants on, and I put my leg in there, and Even though most of my body is shrinking, my legs still have some excess fat on them, you know? And like when I make some of my videos, it's kind of hard to look at the replay of them with my legs dangling and stuff. But anyway, I put one leg in, and I was like, right away I had a defeatist attitude, and I was like, I don't think this is going to work, so maybe I'm just going to go get something else. But then I put my other leg in, I pulled those pants up, and wouldn't you know it, they fit. They were a little tight, so the 40-inch, that was a little too small for me. I wasn't ready for that. So I went back, got the 42, and it fit. It was really cool, you know? So, going back to the start, at the beginning, when I weighed 551 pounds, I was wearing probably a size 60 waist, maybe a 62, and I never really paid attention to length. I just got like 30-inch length or whatever. It was hard to find underwear. My shirts were probably like 5X for the most part. So I went from that to a 1X shirt, and then a size 42 pant, you know. And I could have gotten into the 40, but like I said, I wanted a little more space for my legs. I was never really like a tight clothing type of guy anyway. I like a little bagginess there, you know. So man, let me tell you, that entire time, like, and you know, my mom was really cool. She treated me to a nice outfit, nice jacket, and you know, but the whole time I felt like Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman. Do 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 do. It was really cool. I can't really explain exactly how emotional that felt to put those clothes on, and now to be able to shop at a place like that and get clothes at nice prices, decent looking clothes, man, that feels pretty good, you know. So that was the first part of the high school reunion weekend. It was pretty cool. The reunion wasn't just about seeing old classmates. It was about seeing my younger self. It was about seeing my younger self again. You know, they were playing the graduation video at the reunion, and there was a moment where I saw myself, my younger self, in that crowd on June 4th, 1995. Bald-headed, right? Shaved, clean-shaven, I would say. I wish I could have jumped into that video and told that younger self, hey, eat healthy, work out, don't let yourself get to a really bad place of being unhealthy. You're better than this. You can be better than this. I wish I could, but I can't. And that's the thing, you can't change the past, but you can change the future. And the crazy thing is, the response afterward was overwhelming. Messages from family, friends, and even former students. People telling me that my journey has inspired them, has touched them. See, that's such a cool thing about this. I mean, when I started making these videos, it was a form of therapy. It really was. Even if you watch my 600-pound life, they encourage a lot of those guys to do something creative. Do something when you have those cravings for food instead of eating whatever you want. Channel that desire elsewhere. And that's what I did. And I put them out there. Vlogging, journaling, blogging, whatever you want to call it. Life experience, sharing my life experience. And somehow, in some way, it connected with a few people. But it turns out it's connected with more people than I had expected. And that hit me hard, because all I ever wanted to do was really take my mind off of food, and also hopefully I could help people feel a little better about themselves, both inside and out. It's a dark world. People are afraid, they're scared of what's going on politically, economically. I mean, crime is rampant everywhere. I mean, there are a lot of people that are angry these days. And I admit it. I mean, there are times when it's hard for me to control my anger too. I'm not perfect, you know? I got to do better with that. But I fear that many people in this society here, and from what I could see in other parts of the world, are just so frustrated and angry right now. They're losing their temper a lot more easily than maybe in the past. I don't know if that's a result of social media or what. That's a video for another day. But if for some reason my videos are helping you take your mind off of those problems, even just for a couple of minutes a day, that means something to me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate being able to connect with you. And also when I see you guys showing the highlights of your lives online, on social media, that means something too. I'm really proud of you guys, and like, I know I have a lot of people as my connections, my friends, my followers on social media, but you know, I follow along with you guys too, and I do my best to respond and provide, you know, likes and stuff like that to your stories as well. But yeah, I want you to know that I really do appreciate everything. I'm a very fortunate, a very blessed person right now. I have an amazing family, you know, an amazing set of friends, an amazing group of people that care, more people than I had ever thought, you know, and you know, and then the other day when I made that video, when I made those videos of me in these new clothes, it was like I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I realized this isn't just about looking different. It's about feeling alive again. Because the truth is, I feel reborn. And I don't say that lightly. I really do feel reborn. Every day now, I wake up with purpose. Not just for me, but to remind others that it's never too late to change your journey. I can't go back and talk to that Chuck that was in that video from graduation at the reunion. I can't do that. But I can change how I'm living my life now, and how that affects how I approach the future with that mentality. And if I can do that, you can too. It's never too late to change. Just don't give up, you know? And if my journey can help even one person believe in themselves again, then every step, every struggle, every Charlie horse, every morning that I had to peel myself up out of bed to go to the gym before the crack of dawn, every tear was worth it. And to everyone who supported me, again, thank you. To my classmates, it was amazing seeing you again. And it felt great to be able to talk to you guys and feel confident enough to do so. It was a pure joy getting hugs from so many of you. My goodness. And I'm sorry I couldn't have any beers or wines or any alcohol with you. Maybe next time at the 35 or the 40th anniversary, 35th or the 40th high school reunion. One of those two. I'll have a couple of drinks with you. I promise. I promise. And to anyone else out there who's struggling, remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about never giving up on yourself. Because wellness doesn't start in a gym. It starts here. That's my heart. Yes, I have a heart. Right? Remember, simple habits equals real results. I'm Chuck, and this is Wellness with Chuck and Talking Fit in Chuckadelphia. Carpe diem, my friends. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Ciao, ciao.